Few things better than New York City in the springtime. The energy unparalleled. And today it's the site of this Northeast Division matchup. NYC FC 2 against Toronto FC 2 this Thursday afternoon at Belson Stadium. Hi everybody, John Gross with you, getting you set for this matchup. NYC FC at 3-5-2 on the season, sitting on 12 points. Meanwhile, Toronto with 11 points at 3-3-2. First of three meetings between these two divisional opponents during the 2025 season, and they'll do it here in Queens at Belson Stadium. You see Toronto getting warmed up. We'll take a look at the starting 11 momentarily, and first for the home side of NYC FC. One notable player not available today, Seymour Reed, who has 7 goals this season, scored a hat-trick last time out. Signed an MLS short-term contract with the first team yesterday, not in the squad. But it's a young trio, Molinari, Arayave, and Lim. 16 years old, 17 years old, and 17 years old. Very young group, but all talented players in their own right. Certainly watch out for that trio for NYC FC. And for the Young Reds of Toronto FC, a different look in goal. It's Shafiq Wilson who gets the start. Just his second appearance of this season. He played back on April 18th against Carolina Core. The second-year Toronto FC man, the native of Brampton, Ontario, gets the start. It had been Adisa Di Rosario for much of the season, but we won't see him today. Jamari Nolan atop this formation. Remember the name, folks. Just 15 years old, the youngest player to sign an MLS Next Pro contract in club history. Scored his first professional goal last time out against Chattanooga, which is a much older Chattanooga FC squad. This is the only match today, but we'll take a look at the rest of the weekend. A couple of matches on Saturday, and then, of course, a jam-packed Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Sporting Kansas City against the Town, and all the way to a 10:30 p.m. showdown out west, a rivalry, Timbers 2 and Tacoma Defiance. So a fun weekend coming up. A couple of rivalries, North Texas, Houston Dynamo, Real Monarchs, Colorado Rapids, Atlanta, and Crown Legacy. So a bunch of really important and exciting fixtures on tap throughout this weekend. And it starts right here in New York City as Toronto FC and NYC FC will meet for the first time this season. And again, all eyes across the league on this match, given that it is the only match of the day in MLS Next Pro. And a perfect day to do it. A little bit overcast, but a comfortable day. Temperatures in the low 70s. Should be a fun one between the Baby Blues and the Young Reds. Just moments away from kicking things off here at Belson Stadium in Queens. And it's a venue where NYCFC has been tough to beat this season. 3-1-1 at home this year. Taking on a Toronto FC squad that is 2-2-0 on the road. Pre-game festivities just about in the books. It will be Toronto FC in the red kits and NYC FC in the whites. NYC FC at 3-5-2 on the season, 12 points on the year, coming off of that Hudson River Derby win over Red Bulls, a 5-2 victory after the Baby Blues trailed 2-1 in that match before scoring 4 straight goals. And of course, it was Seymour Reed, the hero, netting his first hat-trick. The 17-year-old, though, again, he is unavailable today, not in the squad after signing a short-term contract with the first team yesterday, the reigning MLS Next Pro Player of the Week. So a well-deserved signing for him. Certainly remember that name, Seymour Reed, for New York City. Toronto on the heels of a 2-1 loss against Chattanooga, which snapped a 4-match unbeaten streak. And of course, Chattanooga, what a season it has been for Chattanooga this year. But an older team, average age for Chattanooga, 25 years old. Of course, an independent club, not affiliated with an MLS side. So they're an older bunch. Toronto started a very young group in that match. It was certainly challenging, but more of a level playing field today in terms of age between Toronto and NYCFC. But Gianni Cimini did talk about the difference in age last match, just starting that young team against Chattanooga. And he said the idea going into that one was just for his young bunch to be fearless, to see what his team could do against older players. He really emphasized to his team, hey, we have to tell ourselves the right narrative. Didn't love how his team played in the first half, but felt his side was much better in the second half. Did score a goal in that second half, but unable to complete the comeback and fell 2-1. So Toronto at 3-3-2 on the season. NYCFC at 3-5-2, led by Matt Pilkington, the fourth-year head coach. Gianni Cimini also in his fourth season as the head man for Toronto.
New York City,
and we are just about set for this one. Bit delayed, but we are ready to roll. It is NYCFC in the whites moving right to left. Toronto FC in the reds moving left to right. And away we go. First of 3 meetings this season between these divisional opponents, NYCFC and Toronto FC. Happy to have you with us at Belson Stadium in Jamaica, Queens. John Gross with you on this Thursday afternoon. The only show in town, the only match of the day in MLS Next Pro. There's a lovely ball chested down by Chris Tiao, wearing the captain band today for New York City. But the flag is raised as Piero Elias is offside. Here's Molinari, just 16 years of age, the academy player who has already maxed out with 4 short-term agreements this season with the first team. Very talented young player. Toronto again coming off of that 2-1 loss against Chattanooga. Here's a poor giveaway for Elias. Surges ahead, rolls it through, able to connect, and it's New York City, an early salvo. Sebastiano Musso, the Italian, gives the home side the 1-0 edge. A glorious start as Musso gets his side on the board, just a poor giveaway, and Elias, how did this ball trickle through? What a ball as it sneaks past Italo, and it's tapped in by Sebastiano Musso. First goal of the season, first professional goal for Sebastiano Musso. And it comes in the opening moments. The first-year pro, he was an all-conference player at nearby Manhattan College. Spent 3 years at Campbellsville. Now in year 1 with New York City. And he has his first professional goal. And what a way to start this thing for the home side. In the midst of this home match, 4-match homestand, where Matt Pilkington's side has played exceptionally well in the friendly confines of Belson Stadium. And that run continuing today. Here is Musso, lifts it ahead, lovely ball, bit of space to work with for Arayave. And he's turned away by Shafiq Wilson. First save for Wilson, and it's a corner for New York City. Jacob Arayave getting the start. Made his season debut last match against Red Bulls. And it was a long-awaited season debut. A young man who is coming off of an ACL injury, the 17-year-old from Passaic, New Jersey, making the start today. Early corner for New York City. Volleyed out of danger by Hassan Ayari. And now Toronto a chance to counter. Here's Edwards. To nick it through, and Colin McCamey taps it away. And Rendo will settle. Alex Rando, the New York City native. Back-to-back starts for him. Made his first appearance last time out. First appearance since April 9th, I should say. This is fifth start of the 2025 campaign for the veteran goalkeeper. His fourth season with NYCFC 2. Here comes Nathaniel Edwards. Edwards on loan from the Toronto first team. Bit of wiggle room into the area. Edwards works 1v1, leaves it off for Ayari, and that heads wide. Goal kick coming for Rando. New York City, the early goal in this one by Sebastiano Muzu. That has been one of the storylines for this team this season. That is a poor giveaway at the back for New York City, but it's a squad that has been sensational on the attack, 19 goals. On the flip side, has struggled mightily defensively, 25 goals conceded. That is the worst in the league. Though it is a team that has played more matches than most teams. Corner kick for Hassan Ayari, the New York City native, playing his home city. He'll hang this up there, able to link up, volleyed into the area and headed away by McCamey. Still a chance to build something in this attacking third. Here's Nolan, skies it in, and a whistle in the area, and it's Toronto who is whistled. The service from the 15-year-old Nolan, and Rando came out to try to snag it, and he certainly drew some contact, bit slow to his feet, and you see him still working that arm. Question now for New York City becomes, and this squad that has been fairly unsuccessful defensively this season, hang on to this edge. Of course, we'll look to add more. It's still so early in this match. But there will be opportunities for the visitors to find the back of the net. And it's a Toronto team that has seen some attacking success in flashes this year. Nine goals this season for the young Reds. Gianni Cimini said earlier in the week that his team has really been focusing on just improving on who they are as a unit. They want to be better in the build-up phase. So this is a gorgeous ball ahead, bit of space for Henry. Cannot tuck it home. Ledley Henry nearly equalized. What a lovely ball this was to pick out Henry from Reed Fisher. And Henry rolls it just wide. Would have been his first goal of the season. The 39th pick in the 2024 Super Draft to Montreal. His first year as a Toronto man. Elias settles. Able to flick on. Here's Molinari. Elias now. Flick back towards Elias. That's broken up. And a free kick awarded to the visitors, as Reed Fisher is slow to his feet. Fisher, the first-year pro, Toronto's first-round pick in the Super Draft, 23rd overall this year, out of San Diego State. That's a program out west that has really had a nice run of success in terms of producing professional talent. Third Aztec drafted in the last 3 years. former San Diego State standout, former Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, now in his first year as a pro for Toronto, helping to anchor this back line. Pregame able to break things up. Now it's Henry, who just missed a point-blank opportunity moments ago. There's Fisher. Plays very direct, looking for Barrow. And no trouble for Max Murray. Handing it back to Rando Murray. Another first-round draft pick that we're seeing in this match. 17th pick in this year's Super Draft. Out of University of Vermont, who, of course, made that Cinderella run to a national championship. And here is a chance for the visitors, as that's rolled wide by Marko Stojadinovic, one of the more experienced players for Toronto. But a couple of chances for the young Reds in the opening 10 minutes of this one, nothing to show for it. Toronto back on it. It has been a fairly sustained spell for Toronto in terms of maintaining possession over the first 10 minutes. Of course, that goal by New York City scored on a Toronto giveaway. Haven't seen much in terms of attacking third possession for the home side today. Here's Ayari. Leaves it off for Nolan. Henry now. Tries to dance with it. Elias gives it away. And a throw for Toronto. Locker. Dispossessed. Lovely tackle. They play on. Here comes Edwards into the area. Edwards has it nicked away. Well defended as Elias will bomb it long. Does the flag stay down? It does. Promising moment here for New York City. And it's right at Wilson. No trouble with that save. You see just how quickly this New York City team can gather possession and break. Here's Wilson under a bit of duress. Forced to play it long. Here's Ayari, a proven goal scorer for Toronto. Last couple of years has been stout for this side of the attacking third. Central feed, Nolan. Lovely ball, Henry gathers. McDonald now. Longest spell of possession we've seen for Toronto comes to an abrupt end. New York City getting that second-minute goal by Sebastiano Muzu. His first goal of this season. There's Molinari. Lifted ahead, Locker making that run. And it trickles to Shafiq Wilson, making just his second appearance of the season. We have seen Adisa Di Rosario for the majority of this year as the starting keeper for Toronto. Di Rosario, who leads MLS Next Pro in terms of clean sheets with 3. That's taken away and comes to Wilson once again. Henry jumps inside. Opens things up for Ayari, the New York City native, back in his home city. Really good ball movement. Henry, space to serve, does so. Headed away. McDonald recovers for Toronto. McDonald again. Plays it ahead. Edwards. McDonald, space to send it across. He does just that. Fisted away by Rando. And Toronto recovers about a third try on this spell for the Young Reds. Effortless movement of the ball. They've done a nice job of switching the point of attack. Fisher. Yari. Centering feed. Bit of a heavy touch. Stays with Toronto. Will be a throw, but a now New York City player. There was some contact, was not whistled. As Muzu was down, now back on his feet. The goal scorer from back in the second minute. All good to go. Stojadinovic. Stojadinovic once again. McDonald, a lovely 1-2 attempt, but it's broken up well. And Arayave controls. And then given away, back to Arayave. Elias turns on the Jets. And New York City will set things up. Haven't seen much of this for New York City. Not a whole lot of possession in the attacking half today. Lofted ball. Diao heads. And falls to Shafiq Wilson. A risky flick, and it's given away. Muzu able to shovel it wide for Elias. Molinari now. Elias. Molinari back for Elias. Bombed ahead by Murray. Searching for Elias. And those two can't link up. Goal kick on the way for Toronto. Visiting side that is not all too used to playing on the road as of late. Just wrapped up a 4-match homestand. 1, 2, and 2 playing across the border. Nolan hangs one ahead. Edwards tracks after it. Edwards tangled up, and it is Edwards who was whistled. Drew Baera, the one defending him. Baera making his first appearance with the NYCFC second team since April 26th. We have seen him up with the first team this season. The 18-year-old made his first team debut on May 7th with that Open Cup match against Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Toronto continues to control things possession-wise. So this is a bit risky. Back to Wilson. Here's McDonald. Stojanovic cycles it wide. Here's Nathaniel Edwards. Leaves it off. Nolan plays it across. Ayari shovels it in. Ball stays in the area and lifted out of danger. This portion of the match is brought to you by St. John's University, the official undergraduate partner of New York City FC2. And here we are at Belson Stadium, the home of St. John's soccer. Proud soccer history for this St. John's program. Nearing the midway point of this first 45, a 1-0 NYCFC lead. That second-minute goal by Sebastiano Muzu, his first professional goal. The difference so far, here is Muzu again. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Oh, he does win it back for his side. Elias now. Goes to work on Fisher. Elias, such a veteran for this squad. 4th year with New York City 2. All as a starter. Native of Queens, playing for his hometown squad. Murray links up ahead, and a free kick awarded to New York City. New York City, a better start to this match than what we saw from this bunch last time out of that rivalry matchup against the Red Bulls. Got off to a slow start, trailed 2-1. But Matt Pilkington said his team made some changes at halftime. Bit more direct, got more runners in the box. More service into the box, and it worked for them. And this is a squad that its identity is its attacking prowess. 19 goals this year, now 20 goals on the season, with the one in the second minute by Muzu. Elias rolls ahead towards Muzu, and Wilson off his line to scoop it. Wilson, who has gotten very involved in the build from the back for Toronto. And of course, see that more and more in this sport. Goalies being involved in builds-up play at the back. Here's Chisholm. Barrow now, and plays it back. And it's given away. Arroyave, the interception. Arroyave, the man just recently removed from his grand return after an ACL injury. Locker now lets it fly and hits it off target. Julian Locker in a bit of a breakout season for the young player, nearly netted his third. And Locker just sent it wide, but that combination of Arroyave and Locker could be one for years to come for this club. Two young players, talented players with high expectations. Free kick awarded as Jamari Nolan goes down. And if you want to talk high expectations, Jamari Nolan certainly fits the bill. The 15-year-old, the youngest player to sign an MLS Next Pro contract in Toronto FC history. Spent last year playing in the Jamaican Premier League, the first division with Mount Pleasant. Came through the Mount Pleasant Academy as Henry tracks after it. And it will be a corner for Toronto. And Patrick McDonald will send this thing in. The Greensboro, North Carolina native. 59th pick in the 2024 Super Draft, who elected to return to Indiana University to wrap up his college career. Now in his first year playing as a professional. McDonald plays it short. Hassan Ayari tries to sneak one in there, comes back to Ayari. Look how high Wilson's playing. But he clearly is part of the build-up for Toronto. And as a modern goalkeeper, you have to have that ability in your repertoire. No longer just about saving shots as a goalkeeper. It's about distributing from the back now. Certainly added responsibilities for the modern goalkeeper. We've seen so much of that from Man City. It has spread, of course, throughout the sport. Wilson, quality feed. Ayari brings it in. Ayari speeds ahead. Hassan Ayari, the New York City native, towards the area. And he blasts that well off target. You have to appreciate his willingness, though, to take on the defenders and at least try to create something for his Toronto side. And you don't mind him taking that shot. He scored once this year, 6 goals last year. Proven commodity for the young Reds, but just left it off target with his left foot. Now New York City looks to surge ahead. Tap towards Locker. And the offside flag is raised. This back line has done a nice job of staying in line. Seen a couple of offside calls. Fisher carries ahead. You love to see that if you're Gianni Cimini. Young center back who can carry it forward. Nearing the final 15 minutes of this first 45. New York City, the early goal all the way back in minute number 2. Sebastiano Muzo with the conversion. Toronto searching for that leveler. Here's Henry. Attack, still Henry, leaves it off. 1-2 back for Henry! Works it central, pinballs around, and it's cleared away. A heart-stopping moment for New York City, nearly jubilation for Toronto. And it was all Malik Henry who did a lot of great things here. Lovely 1-2 back for Henry, tried to sneak it across, and then nearly an own goal. But Colin McCamey rescues the day for New York City. Stojadinovic leaves it off. Barrow, Ayari in the area, leaves it off. And that's off target. Like a Chisholm on that last strike. Not somebody who you typically see operating in that vicinity. And the Markham, Ontario native shot results in a goal kick. Murray dials one deep, and that sails over the touchline. Nolan juts forward, dumps it off for Ayari. Ayari, well done to break that feed up as Elias able to settle. New York City at 1-0 edge. 3 shots on target already for the home side out of 4 shots in all. Toronto has had 4 shots as well, but none have tested Alex Rando on frame. Oh, this is given away. Here's Nolan, tried to sneak it ahead, couldn't do so. Good recovery by New York City. Now the home side can break. Elias leaves it off. Here's McCamey. Then back for McCamey. McCamey, the 54th pick in this year's Super Draft out of Northwestern. Lim plays it deep. Wilson comes off his line. Certainly contact. No whistle though, and Drew Baera is down. Baera, the 18-year-old and a homegrown contract, back to his feet. Good sight to see. Shafiq Wilson has been forced to be very, very active coming off of his line today. York City extends its pressure, and it pays off. Molinari the takeaway. One back, though, by Stojadinovic, and a throw for the Young Reds. McCamey wins that first ball. Another throw coming up for the visitors. A unit that at times has struggled to generate offense this year. We've seen a couple of chances, but nothing all too quality. The calling card this season for Toronto has been its defense. Fourth fewest goals conceded in the league. But giving up that early one today back in the second. Piero Elias. Oh, great slide tackle as Edwards scoops it up. Still Edwards. And a mad dash as Baera gets there first. Great effort by Baera. This portion of the match is brought to you by Adidas, the official kit supplier for New York City FC2. Here's Nathaniel Edwards. Barrow now. Barrow plays it back post. Henry couldn't get there. Mayari recovers. McDonald. Barrow towards McDonald. Toronto still searching for its first shot on target. 4 shots in all, but not on frame. Stojadinovic. Elevated feed, headed down. Edwards brings it in. Edwards works 1v1. Edwards, Nolan turned away. Came off of Max Murray. Ball stays in play. Pop central towards goal. And Rando has his first save. Daquan Barrow got a toe on it. Not the hardest hit ball, but then again, not a whole lot he could do with it. That ball was so high up. Still able to get a foot on it, but no trouble for Rando. His first save of the match. And down goes Arroyave. Free kick for New York City. Here's McCamey. Carries ahead. Molinari now. Giao. That's for Elias. Brings it in. Piero Elias. Molinari, Elias again. Murray lifts it forward. Muzu brings it in. Back for Elias, rolls it and scores! That is lovely from New York City. And Piero Elias has his second of the season. 2-0 New York City. Started with this ball from Murray, and Muzu, who scored that goal, picks up an assist as well. And And Elias, a collected finish. Didn't put all too much on it, just well placed. And he sneaks it by Shafiq Wilson.
Goal, New York City!
Piero Elias, the native of Queens, today playing in his home borough.
For Elias, this is his second goal of the
And he
season.
doubles the edge. 2-0 New York City in this Northeast Division showdown on this Thursday afternoon at Belson Stadium. And suddenly Toronto finds itself in a world of trouble, down 2-0 just before the halftime break. Stojadinovic, though, makes his way ahead. Stojadinovic! It was a laser towards the backside, but it heads innocently out for a goal kick. Stojadinovic, a veteran for Toronto, had a go, but unable to test Rando. At the final 5 minutes of this first half. New York City a 2-0 advantage, but Toronto searching for something late in this first 45. Nolan steps ahead, leaves it off, contact in the area, and a penalty kick is awarded. A golden gift for Toronto. And Hassan Ayari will step to the spot as Nolan left it off. Edwards came surging in and is upended. And it results in a penalty kick for Toronto. Hassan Ayari, the New York City native. Here he goes. Ayari turned away. Alex Rando. In his first appearance in over a month, Alex Rando tested from the spot, and he passes the test with flying colors. It is a corner for the visitors. In swinger, stays in the mixer. And now the flag is raised. So Toronto had its chance to draw within one, but Alex Rando had other ideas. Murray blasts it deep. Elias keeps it in play. Muzu, good tackle by Muzu. Does stay with Toronto, but this will allow New York City to set up its press, which has presented some issues today for Toronto. We've seen a couple of giveaways to the back, including that first goal scored by New York City. Final moments of this first 45. Barrow heads down. That'll settle on top of the roof of the dugout. Long ball over the head of Tiao. Henry gets there. Henry. He had Ayari making the overlapping run and sent it a little bit late. Ayari held up on that run. And simply a goal kick for New York City. An NYCFC team trying to stay dominant at home. 3-1-1 in the friendly confines of Belson Stadium this season. And this, the midst of a 4-match homestand, so a chance for New York City to really climb the table and continue to assert its home dominance. Especially when you compare that to the road struggles this season for New York City. 0-4-1 outside of the 5 boroughs.
The fourth official on the sideline
We
has
have entered
indicated
stoppage
there will
time,
be
just 1
1
minute
added to the
of
first
added
half.
time.
El cuarto árbitro ha indicado que se agregará un minuto adicional a este primer tiempo.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Etihad Airways, the official airline partner of New York City FC2. Chance for one last build for Toronto. Ayari's feed broken up. Stojadinovic cycles it out. Edwards connects on the overlap, played in towards Nolan, stays in the area. Henry brings it down. Ayari dances through traffic. Still Ayari. Oh my goodness! Oh, if he got a shot off, that would have been sensational. Still a chance for Toronto. And there is the whistle. We have played 45 minutes, and it's the home side, New York City. A 2-0 edge. Matt Pilkington's squad has been dominant at home this season. That success continues through 45 minutes. We will step aside at the break. New York City FC 2, Toronto FC 0. Stick with us. You're watching MLS Next Pro on MLSNextPro.com.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action.
I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. A jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together.
Halftime in New York City at the break. New York City FC a 2-0 lead over Toronto FC in this Northeast Division matchup. Let's send it over to this week's edition of Coach's Corner.
Welcome to this episode of Coach's Corner. I'm April Marie Aguilar, and today I'll be talking to Carolina Core FC's head coach, Donovan Ricketts. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. You?
I am doing great. Thank you so much. Well, it is your first season as head coach of Carolina Core FC. What has this experience been like for you?
Great years.
headaches. So as a player, I didn't know that players give head coaches this much stress, or else I would have been a better player.
Oh my goodness, I love the honesty.
No, but it's fun. It's fun. It's like, it's the job, the game that we grew up playing. So now to be on the other side, it's an experience. It's a different kind of experience, but it's not much of a drastic change because it's still the same game.
When did you know that coaching was something you wanted to pursue?
I didn't know. I think coaching found me rather than I found coaching. Because if you ask anybody that I played the game with, no one would think of me as a head coach, because I would just be, once practice is done, that's me just being done. But then after I started to get older, and then it just, I don't know, maybe from the years of experience, you just started talking the game a bit more, and then you said, I didn't know I had all this knowledge.
And well, you played alongside some of the biggest names in soccer, like Landon Donovan, David Beckham. What is something that you learned during your time with them that now you find yourself applying into your coaching career?
No, I wouldn't say just from them, but when you play with a certain caliber of players, the thing that I found most was those players were always the humble players. They were always humble, hardworking, so they put extra time in to ensure that they were the best at what they could be. So now it's just the message you send to every player that you have. It's like you have the ability, but sometimes in order to be the best or to be the greatest, you have to put extra work in.
And you've been with this team since its inaugural season. What does it mean to you to have been with this organization from the very beginning?
No, because when I played, I was with Montreal. I was with them for their inaugural season as well. So I was with Orlando for their inaugural season as well. So I think I'm a inaugural season journeyman, so to speak.
We love that.
So it's always a good experience. You see something from the very inception to see what it can grow into. So it's a good experience.
That's phenomenal. And last year, this team just missed the playoffs. But now, as the leader of this team, what are your expectations for this season?
No, definitely we want to make the playoffs, because everything that we did last year, we want to improve on everything that we did last year. And making the playoffs would be a step in that direction as well. And then once you hit the playoffs, anything is possible, because when we start the season, everybody dreams of winning the championship. So you don't get that chance if you don't make the playoffs. Our goal is to make the playoffs first.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you this season. And thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of Coach's Corner. Be sure to tune in next time to see who I'll be chatting with. For now, I'm April Marie Aguilar. We'll see you next time.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, 'cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Action!
attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Juno, the score at the break, New York City leading Toronto FC. Let's take a look at this week's player profile.
MLS NEXT Pro.
Hola y muchas gracias por acompañarnos hoy en este nuevo episodio de Player Profile. Mi nombre es April Marie Aguilar y hoy tengo el gran placer de poder platicar con Facundo Canete de Carolina Core FC. ¿Qué tal, Facundo? ¿Cómo estás hoy?
Buenas tardes, muy bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Yo estoy muy bien, gracias a Dios. Bueno, ¿qué ha significado para ti, ya siendo que has estado aquí con Carolina Core FC desde el comienzo?
No, la verdad, para mí una experiencia muy linda. Empezar en el primer año del equipo y no, muy bien, la verdad.
Y tus estadísticas el año pasado fueron bastante impresionantes. Aparte, fuiste nombrado mención de honor en el top 11 de MLS NEXT Pro. ¿Qué podemos esperar de ti esta temporada?
No, la temporada pasada, gracias a Dios, me fue muy bien. Gracias a mi compañero, el trabajo que hicimos en el año. Y este año esperar lo mismo, tratar de superarme en los goles, en asistencia y poder ayudar lo máximo posible al grupo.
Y el año pasado estuvieron muy cerca de clasificar a los playoffs. Como equipo, ¿cuáles son las expectativas que ustedes tienen para esta temporada?
Sí, el año pasado nos quedamos a 2 puntos de clasificar. Lastimosamente perdimos el último partido, pero bueno, este año vamos con muchas ganas y el objetivo de clasificar a playoff.
Y tienen un nuevo entrenador, Donovan Ricketts, a quien fue asistente el año pasado. ¿Cómo piensas tú que te ha ayudado a desarrollarte con tu tiempo aquí en Carolina Core FC?
No, la verdad, muy bien. Gracias a Dios estamos entendiendo lo que quiere, lo que transmite el entrenador, así que estamos haciendo lo posible para sacar los partidos adelante.
Bueno, pues muchas gracias, Facundo, te lo agradezco.
Gracias.
Bueno, pues hemos terminado este episodio de Player Profile. No se lo pierdan a la próxima para ver con quién estaré conversando. Por ahora soy April Marie Aguilar y nos vemos a la próxima.
Should be a fun season of MLS NEXT Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it! Action!
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
2-0 the score at the break. New York City leading Toronto FC in this Northeast Divisional matchup. John Gross with you. Happy to have you along for the ride today. We have 45 minutes in the books, and New York City has the edge. Let's take a look back at the first half that was between these two sides. First of 3 meetings between NYC FC and Toronto FC. We start things back in the second minute. Elias, the takeaway, he leaves it off for Muzu, and Sebastiano Muzu got the party started early. Minute number 2. Toronto would have some chances, though. Malik Henry into the area. That probably the best look that we've seen of the run of play today from the visitors. Again, it's Henry combining here, getting involved. His cross pinballs around nearly an own goal. How about another chance? This the first shot on target that we saw. But New York City would strike again. It was the goal-scoring combination But a bit of a role reversal. This time it was Muzu who was feeding Elias. And those two link up for goal number 2. 2-0 lead. That goal came in the 39th minute. Just after that, Marko Stojadinovic had a go. And then this was a promising moment for Toronto. A penalty kick awarded in the dying embers of that first 45. The New York City native Ayari to the spot. And he's turned away by another New York City native. Alex Rando turns away the PK. And 2-0 to score at the break. You see these stats break down 5-8 in terms of shots, but 4-2 an edge for New York City in terms of shots on target. That's really been the difference so far, and it's been fairly clean. Just 8 combined fouls. Haven't seen any cards in, again, a very clean first 45 minutes of action. So 45 minutes in the books in this match, but a look at the upcoming schedule. We have 2 more matches on Saturday, nothing tomorrow on Friday, and then a jam-packed day on Sunday. Rivalry matches galore. So you will not want to miss that Sunday slate. It begins at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It ends at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So you'll have a full day and night, and even the early portion of the morning to watch some MLS Next Pro. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to visit MLSNextPro.com for the schedule and to see where you can tune in to catch all of those matches. Our only Thursday match, it's New York City and Toronto. Just a couple moments away from getting things started in the second half of this one. Again, happy to have you with us. And New York City FC and Toronto FC second half kickoff coming up momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the pitch your New York City FC2. Démosle la bienvenida de vuelta al campo a su New York City FC2.
Here we go, ready to roll for half number 2. New York City at 3-5-2 on the season. 45 minutes away from another home victory. Meanwhile, Toronto 3-3-2 on the year. Just wrapped up a 4-match homestand, went 1-1-2 in that stretch. Now on the road. Work to do for the Young Reds, led by fourth-year head man Gianni Cimini. Well, we saw some of this last week, but we saw it for Toronto in that first half against Chattanooga. Not how Toronto was hoping to play. Gianni Cimini very open about that. Said that his team failed in its goals for that first half, but felt better about the second half of play against a Chattanooga squad that is significantly older on average than Toronto. And the Young Reds hoping that last week's second half performance, a harbinger of things to come for today's second half. Now, of course, playing against a team who is in the same age range as Toronto compared to Chattanooga, one of the independent clubs in MLS Next Pro. Toronto overloading this left side of the pitch. We'll see if they just bomb it deep. And they will instead play it short. We are underway. Final 45 minutes of the first of 3 meetings this season between New York City and Toronto. John Gross with you on this Thursday afternoon. A spring day in New York City. Nelson Stadium in Jamaica, Queens. New York City a 2-0 edge. Here goes Julian Locker. Vieira on the overlap, dashes into the area, and he's muscled off of it. And a free kick awarded to the visitors. It is rare to see Toronto conceding multiple goals, a squad that only allows just over 1 goal per match. 4th fewest goals conceded in the league this season. But New York City has shown an ability to score against the best of them. Now up to 21 goals on the year. Toronto in the red kits, now moving right to left. New York City in the white kits, attacking left to right. Here's McDonald. McDonald again. 2024 Super Draft pick. His feet taken away. Muzu able to keep it in play. Did that make it to over the touchline? It did. Muzu having a big day so far for New York City. Had the goal back in the second. And then the assist on the Piero Elias goal in the 39th. Toronto extending its press a bit. We didn't see much of that in the first half. And a free kick coming for New York City. It's Muzu again who draws the whistle. The native of Italy who came to the U.S. to play his college soccer. Started things off at Campbellsville, was an All-American player there before transferring to the Division I ranks at Manhattan. Spent 2 seasons at Manhattan, including an all-conference campaign for the Jaspers. Nolan taps it forward. Here's Edwards. And he gives it away. That was surge from Malik Henry. Henry sneaks it central. to the edge of the area. Nolan lets it fly, turned away by Rando. Stojadinovic pops it back towards the area and hangs it over everybody. Well, a quality early opportunity in the second half for Jamari Nolan. You see that little window of separation. Nolan, who just scored his first pro goal last time out, or I should say first goal with Toronto last time out against Chattanooga. Nearly made it back-to-back matches with a goal. The 15-year-old who already has some remarkable experience playing in the Jamaican First Division, also a member of the Jamaican youth national team. A lot of hype around number 64 for Toronto, and deservedly so. Rando, long delivery. Second ball won by the home side, then given away. But Lim does well to tap it forward. Here comes Muzu. A goal and an assist already for him. Leaves it for Locker. Locker pops one across, and Wilson snacks it. Shafiq Wilson, just his second appearance of the season, getting the start today for Toronto. Another giveaway for Toronto. Mayera leaves it central. Jabbed ahead. Lovely combination play here. Arayave slips it for Muzu, and that clears the crossbar. So the flag was raised regardless. Beautiful spell of connection for New York City. We've seen flashes of that today for a side that is an attack-minded unit. Matt Pilkington said they put a lot of emphasis on being an attack-minded side. That is certainly shown in New York City's attacking success this season. And its attacking success today. Barrow, his run broken up. Molinari. Great ball for Locker. Two young players linking up. Here's Locker. Dances in the area. Locker sneaks it across. Clearance comes out to Lim. Lim steps into it. His strike blocked. Now Max Murray. Murray has a go. And tattoos it wide for a goal kick. Well, long distance efforts for New York City, but none of them all too threatening. McDonald. Chisholm. Nolan into space. Fluttering ball ahead. Brought down momentarily. And a whistle. And Toronto not happy, but there is a down New York City player who requires medical attention. That's Colin McCamey, who is down. Let's see McCamey. You'll see him left side of your screen. And goes in for that challenge and just collides with Ayari. McCamey, who has been one of the anchors of this back line this season. Full 90 in 3 straight matches entering today. His 10th start of the season in 11 matches today. He's down, getting checked on. McCamey, a 54th pick in this year's draft after a standout career at Northwestern, doing his thing in the Big Ten Conference. And McCamey helped back to his feet. Good sign to see. Toronto was in a fairly favorable spot when that whistle blew. We will restart things with the drop ball. And we are back underway. McCamey still working on the touchline. You see him middle of your screen, sprinting back and forth. So right now New York City playing down a man. Edwards and company look to capitalize. McDonald, his cross blocked by Locker. Comes right to Chisholm. Chisholm's ball scooped up by Rando. Here's Drew Paera. Locker tried to jab it ahead, couldn't do so. Edwards on loan from the Toronto first team. Cycled around for Henry. Stojadinovic now. Back for Henry, making that run. Tiao gets there first. Good hustle by the captain, Chris Tiao. And a throw for Toronto. Barrow lost it, and it heads down to New York City, who you have to give Matt Pilkington's side a lot of credit for how it is defended today. A much improved performance today defensively compared to what we've seen for much of the season. And also on the attacking side, 2 goals for New York City, despite being without its top goal scorer and one of the premier attacking players in the league this season, in Seymour Reed, who just yesterday signed a well-deserved MLS short-term contract with the NYCFC first team. Nolan. Stojadinovic plays ahead for Henry. Rolls through Ayari. Marked by Tiao. Nolan tried to serve one in there. Comes off of Molinari. And it is a corner for Toronto. Patrick McDonald will send this in. 1 assist this season for McDonald. Plays it short. Here's the cross. Headed away. Nolan settles. His strike turned away by Molinari. Contact just outside of the area. They play on. And there's a challenge, and it may warrant a card. It will. It's our first booking of the match, and it goes against the 15-year-old Jamari Nolan.
A yellow card has been issued to Toronto's number 64.
And we will also see our first alteration of the match.
New York City substitution in the 59th minute.
Oriel
Number
Zeitz
99,
heads
Uriel
on.
Zeitz. He replaces
Made
number
his
47,
debut
Jacob
last match
Arroyave.
against
Cambio de
New
City
York
en
Red
el
Bulls,
minuto
and he will
59.
replace Jacob Arroyave, who also made his debut last time. And for Arroyave, this is a good sign to see getting more minutes under his belt. This is a guy who missed a lot of time with an ACL injury. The Passaic, New Jersey native who signed to the first team on a homegrown deal. Always question marks about how players come back after those injuries, especially one of the ACL variety that keeps you out for so long. But he made his debut last match. He was out there again today, put in a solid shift. And his day ends right around the hour mark. A lovely combination here. Elias lifts it central, and it's off the post. Comes back to Locker, and he bags it. Julian Locker makes it 3-0. And the Baby Blues are flying high. A well-earned goal. Look at this gorgeous build-up. Elias able to stab it central. Baera off the post. Comes right to Locker. And he lasers it home. Third goal of this season for Julian Locker, the 17-year-old out of the New York City Academy who is having a breakout season. He's already surpassed his goal contribution total from last year. And Matt Pilkington said, hey, last year was more of a transitional season for Locker after joining from the academy. But now he's showing that he can really compete at this level. 3 goals, 3 assists this season for Julian Locker. And it's 3-0 New York City, comfortably in front, just past the hour mark. Corner kick for Toronto. Just searching for something to go right, and Rando brings it in. Launch long for Elias. Elias wins it. Elias smothering defense from Edwards. First team player for Toronto and loan. Here's Locker. Elias again. Muzu. He goes down and is awarded a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by St. John's University, the official undergraduate partner of New York City FC2. Free kick for New York City as they lead it 3-0. Sebastiano Muzu will send this ball in. Muzu. This feed broken up by Stojadinovic. And a throw for the home side. Elias. Crafty back heel. Tiao powers it central. And Wilson high points it. And Piero Elias, you could see throughout this match just the impact that he has on this team. Of course, such a veteran player, 4th season with this club. But he is always involved. There's a goal and an assist today. Also had that feed that led to that Baera shot, which ricocheted off the post, leading to the Locker goal. Locker. And they had played the advantage. But Lim went down. And Evan Lim a little slow to his feet. The academy player for NYCFC. Future Notre Dame Fighting Irish soccer player out of Cedar Grove, New Jersey. No trouble for Shafiq Wilson. One coming for Toronto, a team that had been known for its stout defense. Just 11 goals conceded this season, about a goal per match. But struggles today, giving up 3 goals. Here's Nolan. 1-2 back for Nolan, surges ahead, and that window closed quickly. Colin McCamey saves the day. Brilliant run though by Nolan. Good link-up play in that attacking third by Toronto. Look, there have been flashes, there have been moments where Gianni Cimini's squad have looked quality in that attacking third, but that final product just not there today. Still time though, but it has to start quickly. The corner coming, and it will be Hassan Ayari to send it in once more. Ayari's ball, headed away, Henry off the volley, and it's booted long. McDonald gets tied up, wins the whistle, and quickly restarts. A sizable hole for a Toronto team that has struggled on the attack this year. 4th fewest goals in the league this season, just 9. Has to find something though. Ayari slices his way free. Ayari tees. Oh, Rando saves it. Lovely bit of skill by Hassan Ayari, the New York City native, to create this separation. Ooh, navigates by Evan Lim. That would have likely gone down as one of the best goals that we'll see all week if he finished that one. And you see the quality that he brings, a member of the Tunisian youth national team. And the New York City native playing back in his home city today. This ball sent wide, contact, and it's going to be a corner. Uriel Zeitz certainly took some contact. Let's get one more look at it. It was Fisher who came in with a challenge. Yeah, I think that's the right call. It was Zeitz in the follow-through who collided with Fisher. Corner for the home side. And another one of the way. Corner in, and Wilson routine. Nearing the final 20 minutes of this one. New York City scored early, and New York City has scored often. There was that second-minute goal, 2 goals since then. Here's Nathaniel Edwards. Popped away by Rando. And Tiao deflects it out for a corner. Second most goals that Toronto has conceded this season. Gave up 4 against
For Toronto,
New England Revolution.
substitutions in the 69th minute, coming on as number 96, Richard Chukwu. He replaces
Toronto
number
will make
72,
changes.
Micah Chisholm. Number 56,
Richard
Anton
Chukwu comes on,
Rosenberry
replaces Chisholm.
Number 25, Nathaniel Edwards. Number 62, Josh Nugent replaces number 91, Daquan Barrow. And number 87,
Josh Nugent
Costa Iliades
heads
replaces
on
number
for
78,
Daquan
Alex
Barrow.
Henry. Cuatro cambios para Toronto en el
As
minuto
well.
79, entra con el número 96, Richard Chukwu, por el número 73, Micah Chisholm. El número 56, Anton Rosenberry, por el número
Costa
25,
Iliades.
Nathaniel Edwards.
Another change
El número
for
62,
the visitors.
Josh Nugent, por el
And
número
it's Anthony
91,
Bossenberry, the
Daquan Barrow.
4th
Y el
substitute
número 87,
for
Costa
Toronto. So
Iliades,
mass
por el número
changes
78, Malik
ahead of this corner kick. It is McDonald who curls it in. And it's headed away by Max Murray. Here's Chukwu, his first touch of the match. Just inserted for Toronto. Locker gets there. Vieira now. Plays it central. Muzu, oh, you see the idea. Wanted that back heel to Zeitz, who certainly could have had a go if he received cleanly. Here comes Joshua Nugent. Nugent wins a corner. Nugent, another one of those players who was just inserted. The 17-year-old product of the TFC Academy. Was actually Toronto's U19 top scorer in MLS Next. Another corner for the visitors inside of 20 minutes left. Low service, Tiao heads it away. McDonald will toss this back into play. Will be a long toss for McDonald. Knotted by Fisher. Pinballs around. And Toronto controls Stojadinovic. Here's Nolan. Plays it through, and Nugent skies it. It's been moments like that where Toronto have done enough to get that final shot, but the end product just has not been there. "14 shots, 5 shots on target." We also saw the saved penalty kick. I wonder how this match would be different if that PK was converted. Would have been 2-1 just before the halftime break. That feels a whole lot different than a 2-0 deficit at the midway mark. Here's Muzu, who has a goal and an assist today. What a performance it has been for him. He and Piero Elias, both with identical lines of 1 goal, 1 assist. Now Toronto operating with some space here. Here's Nolan. Japs it ahead towards Nugent. Cleared by McCamey. Toronto, chance to reset. Here's McDonald. Ayari now. One of his first touches in quite some time. Ayari, low cross, stabbed away. New York City content to knock it around, run some clock, try to preserve this clean sheet. Here's Elias. Could not keep it in play. During the final 15 minutes of this match. And it's been a convincing performance for New York City. And one that this side has to feel quite good about. Its home dominance continuing. Now 15 minutes away from moving to 4-1-1 at home this season. Wilson under some duress, able to get rid of it. Chuku ahead for Ayari. Leaves it off. Bostonberry receives. Anthony Bostonberry into the area. Still Bostonberry. A daunting angle, and it sails out for a goal kick. Pardon me.
New York City substitution in the 76th minute. Coming on is number 33, Prince Amponsa. He replaces number 42, Piero Elias. Cambio de New York City.
And a change for New York City. Piero Elias, a stellar performance. A goal and an assist for the NYCFC2 veteran. He is replaced by Prince Amponsa. The first-year pro. This is Amponsa's first time coming on as a substitute. The native of the Bronx who grew up playing his soccer in the shadows of NYCFC's home pitch over at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Now getting the chance to play for his hometown club. He's been a reliable piece of this NYCFC2 squad this season. Getting some late run today, trying to see this one out. It's one of the great things about this New York City club. Just the soccer history, the plethora of talent that you'll find all around this city. NYCFC has done a tremendous job bringing in that talent, developing that talent, improving the talent base. Of course, MLS NEXT Pro has played a major role in that. You could say that for teams across the board. Physical battle as that rolls out for a goal kick. But year 4 for this league, and to date, over 175 players have signed MLS first-team contracts from MLS NEXT Pro.
Number 82, Patrick McDonald. Cambio de Toronto en el minuto 78, entra con el número 79.
Change for Toronto as Andre Dumitru enters and Patrick McDonald exits. And one last note on just the growth of this league and also the talent that it has produced and cultivated. 24 MLS NEXT Pro alumni have scored an MLS goal already this season, only a couple of months into the campaign. Just goes to show how valuable this league is in terms of development, getting guys to that next level, and providing more opportunities to some of these young players. So Dumitru, the native of Milton, Ontario, on for Toronto. Another product of the TFC Academy. Here comes Nolan. And Ponsa breaks that run up. Nugent trying to lift it across. And here comes New York City. Muzu flicks it through. Locker surges. One goal already for Locker. Plays it ahead. And not the best angle on that feed as Wilson recovers. This portion of the match is brought to you by Adidas, the official kit supplier for New York City FC2, as that is rolled just wide by Joshua Nugent. Again, there have been moments for Toronto. There have been some chances where I think looking back at this, Toronto will say, ugh, a little bit more clinical here, a little bit more clinical there. This is a completely different match. But with just about 10 minutes to spare, the Young Reds in danger of being shut out against a New York City squad that has struggled mightily on the defensive side of things. Muzu had a very threatening ball. No trouble for Shafiq Wilson. Inside 10 minutes left. New York City on the doorstep of its second clean sheet of the season. Did so against Columbus Crew in match number 2 back on March 14th. And Pansa sneaks it out for Toronto throw. But if this New York City team is going to get to that next level, get back to the postseason, which it reached last year, 6th place in the Eastern Conference, the defensive metrics will have to improve for this squad. And this is certainly a welcoming sign for Matt Pilkington's club. Chukwu. Chukwu left it forward and is upended. Free kick awarded in a threatening area. Richard Chukwu, the Bradford, Ontario native, has experience at the international level as well, playing with the Canadian youth national team, most recently in last summer's CONCACAF U20 Championship. Hassan Ayari stands over it. This is within striking distance for the New York City native. Would not be shocked to see him let this thing fly. Ayari does let it fly, and it's right at Rando. And Rando in no rush to put this ball back into play. Ayari works 1v1 on Locker. Ayari separation. Chukwu tried to pop it back to Ayari. Fisher goes airborne. Dimitru now. And Rando able to get there. Rando, his 5th start of the season. Back-to-back starts now for Alex Rando. We've seen a lot of Mac Learned as well in net for New York City this season. Both Rando and Learned have signed deals with the first team. Learned a short-term deal earlier this month. Meanwhile, Rando signed a first-team contract last year. Murray blasts it long. Murray, the 17th pick in this year's draft for New York City. Another guy who has some first-team experience, made his debut back on May 7th in Open Cup play against Pittsburgh. Highly touted player who was a standout for the national champion Vermont Catamounts this past season. Locker the first to get there and boots it out for a throw. Stojadinovic. Fluttering ball, no trouble. Locker forced towards the touchline. Able to roll it out for a Toronto throw, nearing the final 5 minutes of this match. Lifted long, Rando off his line. And that man is now 5 minutes away from a clean sheet. And we start to look ahead for the Baby Blues, hosting Chicago Fire next Thursday before ending this homestand against New England Revolution on May 31st. Meanwhile, Toronto returning home for back-to-back home matches. Toronto looking for something late. Ranto the save. Nugent got it on frame. And another corner coming. Nugent, actually did that even hit off of Nugent? May have come off of the New York City defender. The corner for Toronto. Low ball, easily disposed of. Chukwu can pop it right back in there. He'll do so. Headed out by McCamey, and Rando brings it in. New York City ready to make a change. Leo Guarino getting set to head on for Sebastiano Muzu. A memorable day for Muzu, a goal and an assist. McCamey, long delivery. This could be something for New York City. Fisher battling with Baera. Baera brings it in. Fisher able to deflect it. Strong defending by Reed Fisher. Toronto's first round pick, and this will be a clear card. Locker, that shove, as he has been booked. And here comes the change. Leo Guarino, the first-year pro, heads on for Sebastiano Muzu.
A yellow card has
a warm round of applause for Muzu, well deserved. A goal and an assist for the first-year pro. And he's replaced by another first-year pro, Leo Guarino, the East Rockaway, New York native. Guarino returning to NYCFC after playing collegiately, was at Boston College for 3 years, 1 year at Wake Forest. But he's a product of the NYCFC Academy. Actually captained the U17s back in the day, top goal scorer in the 2019-20 Generation Adidas Cup. Oh, Locker, lovely skill. This portion of the match is brought to you by Etihad Airways, the official airline partner of New York City FC2. Final minutes of this one. New York City just playing keep away en route to its second clean sheet of the season. Rando just daring Toronto to extend this pressure. Here's Lim. Zaitz lost it. Tapped ahead. And Fisher settles for Toronto. Initial indications suggest 3 minutes of added time as we wind down to this one. A convincing day at the office for New York City. And a well-earned 3-0 result, and a well-earned shutout as well, as it stands. But still time for Toronto to
The fourth official on the sideline has
think
indicated
something
there will
through.
be 3 minutes added to the second half.
So 3 minutes of added time it is.
Agregarán 3 minutos adicionales a este segundo tiempo.
Nugent bumped off of it, and Baera will clear. Well, Matt Pilkington said the big emphasis heading into this match for his NYCFC squad was to continue the process of improving their defensive actions, their defensive shape. I think they've done that, at least so far. Rando gets there to bring it in. Not to say that Toronto have not been able to generate chances, but we haven't seen those lulls defensively that have popped up throughout the season for New York City. This group has been engaged. We've seen some solid pressing moments. And just a couple of minutes away from shutout number 2 this season. Try to switch fields, gets to Ayari. Dumitru plays it off, 1-2 back towards Dumitru, and Lim intercepts it. Maybe one last chance for Toronto inside the final moments of stoppage time. Dumitru chips ahead. Here's Chukwu. Switches for Ayari. Ayari turned away by Tiao, the captain, stout 1v1 defending. Service headed away by Murray. Baera breaks it up initially. One clearance should do it. It is popped away by Lim. And there is the whistle. Clean sheet number 2 this season for New York City. And the Baby Blues have a convincing 3-0 win as the home dominance continues for Matt Pilkington's squad. 3 goals today for New York City, 2 of them, at least in part courtesy of Piero Elias. The assist in the 2nd minute, and then the goal right here. In fact, you know, I think Sebastiano Muzu had a claim to potentially win this award as well, but it was Elias who did so many great things today. A stellar performance by him and a stellar performance by his entire New York City FC team. Once again, the final score, NYCFC 3, Toronto FC 0. A big thanks to all of you for joining us. This has been MLS Next Pro on MLSNextPro.com.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.